This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
The Boston Celtics are a different monster with a healthy Kristaps Porzingis. My goodness, was that ever a statement made by the Celtics in Game 1? This is going to be a tough team to beat. There's a reason why the Celtics were clearly the best team in basketball record-wise. And you're talking about a team that absolutely cakewalked through the Eastern Conference, and now they're getting Porzingis, who just played like that. It's going to be awfully tough for the Mavericks in this one. But the Boston Celtics, guys, they open up the 2024 NBA Finals with a huge victory, 107-89. And Kristaps Porzingis, got to give him all of the credit here. He had a huge return game, 20 points, 6 rebounds, and he really set the tone early for the Boston Celtics. Porzingis was a man possessed. 11 points, 4 of 5 from the field, 3 rebounds, 3 blocks, hit so many long threes. Porzingis, an absolute machine. And just when you thought the Celtics team, couldn't be any more deadlier than they showed us, they have just another layer with Porzingis. You look at the Celtics, 6 players finishing in double figures. They got off to that rocking start, 37-20 in the first. Porzingis early on doing most of the damage. Jaylen Brown had 22. Tatum only had 16 in this one. The Celtics still won it convincingly. He had 16 and 11. As the Mavericks, they made things interesting a little bit in the third quarter when they went on that run, but then the Boston Celtics, they withstood that momentum shift by the Mavericks, and they ended up closing out this game. As Luka Doncic, he had 30, but then outside of that, Luka didn't have help. Kyrie Irving struggled in this one, just had 12 points. PJ Washington 14, Gafford 8. As you got to give this Boston Celtics team a ton of credit, because the Mavericks are an offensive juggernaut. They showed us how lethal they are, with some of the performances we saw during these playoffs. And the Celtics defense just stifled the Mavs, holding them to 89 points. The Mavericks were just 41% from the field, 25% from 3, and really, it was the 3-ball discrepancy. The Celtics hit 9 more threes than the Mavericks. They were 38%, and we know the reason why the Celtics get out to those big leads, they beat teams by 20-plus points, they get those 20-plus point leads because how effective that 3-ball is, and they were hitting that 3-ball early and often as they were just making it rain from downtown. As the Mavericks, they're not going to win this series if they're shooting that putrid from 3. So, the Mavericks, that was a big discrepancy there. Both teams got to the line 19 times. Mavs 63%, Celtics 68%. Rebounds, the Celtics were +4. They had 9 blocks in this one. The Boston Celtics did, guys. They had as many blocks as the Dallas Mavericks had assists. So that just tells you how dialed in the Celtics were. And it felt like that. This felt like a game where the Celtics were absolutely locked in. They were ready to go. You look at the Celtics, guys, this is a tough team to beat, man. Porzingis being healthy, showing you what he showed you. We're not talking about just adding any guy. We're talking about adding a player in Porzingis that can effectively just be unstoppable. The way that he just hit some of those shots, it's not like the Mavericks were playing bad defense. The Celtics were just hitting shots. Notably Porzingis hitting a couple of threes that, there was a hand in his face. Jaylen Brown, you can tell he was pumped and locked in. Jason Tatum, he's going to have better games than this offensively. Anytime you get a 16-point game from Tatum and you still win like this, that's just huge. The Celtics had great rim protection, making things difficult. And then the crowd, they were just electric in this one. As the Boston Celtics, this is a team that is tough to stop. Now, guys, before we continue with this video, I do want to shout out our sponsor, BetUS. They are the #1 online sportsbook in which they're offering a 125% deposit match up to $2,000 on your first 3 deposits. BetUS, awesome sportsbook. I've been using them all playoffs long. And they're also giving away $125 in free play. So the first 5 people to DM their account to me showing their account number on X will receive $25 in free play. You can go to BetUS right now, bet on Game 2 set for Sunday. You don't want to miss out on the action. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video.
Michael Vick at BetUS.com. Catch an incredible 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, plus 10% gambler's insurance. BetUS, my online sportsbook and casino.
You know, a lot of people thought that the Celtics were going to get a reality check in this NBA Finals because they hadn't faced good competition or tough competition in the Western Conference. Obviously, in those series that they played in, there was a significant injury to the other team, but they played against a healthy Mavs team. The Mavericks, nobody out, and this was the team that got out of the West, and the Celtics, they just made easy work of Dallas. So you expect Dallas to respond. I mean, Dallas has had some pretty bad game 1, so if you're a Mavericks fan, you hang your hat on that one, that the Mavericks can bounce back. But the Celtics, they proved in this one, they just have so many weapons. They can beat you in so many different ways. And if they were already tough to stop, as is, you're adding in Porzingis, who looks motivated. I mean, this was Porzingis' biggest game of his career, and he answered the call and then some. He showed up in a big way, and he showed you just what he can bring to the Celtics. And that's why the Celtics were aggressive. That's why they made the moves that they did. That's why they traded for Porzingis, which is right now looking like a steal. They got a guy in Drew Holiday. It was for this moment. It was for the NBA Finals. It was for, you know, this spot of winning it all. And right now, the Boston Celtics, they are 3 wins away from doing so. Yeah, so this was an ass-kicking, guys. Outside of that Dallas Mavericks run where they cut the lead, I think it was 8. They got it down to 8. I mean, the Celtics, they were in control from start to finish. This was a team that was not going to be denied. I mean, defensively, they were just solid, making it difficult. And then offensively, they were clicking on all cylinders. And it was that great start that the Celtics had that carried them, as the Celtics, they were just doing an amazing job. The Celtics were absolutely locked in. And the Dallas Mavericks, they looked like a team that they weren't ready. And, you know, it looked like they did not come out with the same energy, the same intensity, the same effort. And obviously, it got the best of them as the Celtics made them pay. So the Boston Celtics, guys, they are a couple more wins away from finishing the story. That's a WWE reference for those of you that catch on to that. But they are 3 wins away from winning a title. And right now, I mean, if Game 1 is any indication of the rest of the series, boy, oh boy, do the Mavericks have their work cut out for them. So let me know your thoughts on this game, guys. Hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. As always, thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you all again in the next one.